All right, so let's talk about Elon and Sam Altman and everything going on today. This was this was just one of those stories where it's just like, there's a lot of stuff going on. So this is the thing, if anyone missed it today. So OpenAI says, hey, Stargate, 500 billion. We're going to be the beneficiaries of a massive industrial investment by the United States. Elon says they don't have the money. And Elon says SoftBank only has under $10 billion secured. I have that on good authority. Sam Altman says, wrong, as you surely know. Do you want to come visit the first site already underway? This is great for the country. I realize what is great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies, but in your new role, I hope you mostly put America first. Sam Altman taking the high road here, not trying to kind of fight back at Elon, but rather just saying, wait a second, this is not really American. Because if you cared about America, you would care about the U.S. consumer winning. You would care about American industrialization. You would care about all these investments. And in order to have these investments, we have to have the ability to then believe that there are more jobs to be created and there's more models to be trained, et cetera, et cetera. Elon obviously doesn't like Sam Altman. Elon really doesn't think OpenAI should be an entity, given he thinks it was a nonprofit and it should have always stayed a nonprofit. And then he has a competing $50 billion company, which is a third of the valuation of OpenAI's $150 billion, called xAI. Sources said that Trump and Sam Altman last Friday talked on the phone for a long time, way longer than the keynote presentation we saw yesterday. And Sam Altman was basically telling him about all the different ways that AI was going to change the world. And Trump was listening very intently. Sources also said that it was a very amicable conversation. So then yesterday on the grand public stage, Trump calls Sam Altman one of the leaders of AI. And quite frankly, I think Elon's just like, screw this, right? I think Elon's just like, they don't have the money to be able to afford $500 billion. This is a misleading headline. And he obviously does not want $500 billion of data center CapEx spend to then benefit the foundation model that is OpenAI, because Elon has a competing foundation model. What's weird about this nuance is I think Sam is right that you know, if you're putting America first, then you want as much investment as could come into the United States, which no matter who it's coming from, you want that investment to then spur more excitement. Palantir 77 after hours. But number two, I think Elon's also right with this idea of where do you get the $500 billion from? Because in his head, he's like, okay, so this is just some random headline that you guys think is that people are being fooled by, because there's not actually $500 billion being invested in any significant way. What's also very interesting about this is that the Trump angle, right? Elon is good friends with Trump. And the problem is that Trump wants the political capital from a victory of saying that he got $500 billion to be invested into the United States on his second day of being in office. Obviously not all $500 billion being deployed tomorrow, but in his first 100 days of the administration, he got something done. By the way, SoftBank already committed Masa Son to invest in $100 billion before he got inaugurated. So you've got all these weird internal dynamics, because it's like, wait a second, why is Elon trying to downplay the announcement that is good for Trump? And maybe it's because his hatred of Sam Altman and OpenAI is outweighing his love for Trump. But then you got Sam Altman basically saying, Elon, you're wrong. We already have a Texas data center that we're building out. We do have the money to be able to fund this. We're going to have more money in the future. And if money is good for America, or investment is good for America, and more money is coming from these investments, that's something you should put first over your hatred for me as a person. Which I think all of us can agree there is some legitimacy to why Elon is not necessarily the happiest with Sam Altman. So this is what was happening all day. And it was kind of crazy to see how all of this played out and where this story is going to go. Let me play this clip right here, and then we'll talk about the financials in terms of if the money is even available to get this $500 billion invested into the United States.
Hi, Scott. So I'm told by a source that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman had a, quote, lengthy phone call with President Trump on Friday. It did focus on AI's potential. They walked through what this technology is really capable of and certain parts of the infrastructure plan that was laid out yesterday. The source here asked not to be named because these discussions were confidential, but they did say it was productive. They described it as amicable. And Trump publicly yesterday really calling Altman at the White House the leading expert on AI. And then on that call Friday, I mentioned President Trump, according to this person who was in the room, said he was most animated about, Trump was most animated about the actual building aspect here and the importance of this happening in the U.S. and not happening in China, what it signaled for confidence in the country under his administration, and then the potential job creation that was also mentioned yesterday. I am told that the OpenAI team first met with the Trump team back in June. This was in Las Vegas to do a demonstration of the technology. It was through the COO of the company, Brad Lightcap, and Greg Brockman, who is the OpenAI president. I am also.
We'll go back to that in a second, but here are the financials to kind of break down why Elon might be right that they don't have money. Stargate is a great name, but the $500 billion is a ridiculous number, and no one should take it seriously unless SoftBank is going to sell all of their BABA and their ARM. SoftBank has $38 billion in cash, $142 billion in debt, and generates $3 billion in free cash flow. They own $143 billion in ARM, aka 90% of the company, and $18 billion in Alibaba. If they start selling ARM, their stake will be worth much less very quickly because they're going to be dumping shares on the open market, and then ARM's valuation will go down. So SoftBank doesn't have the money. At most, they have $38 billion in cash, which I don't think they can invest all of their cash into American infrastructure. Like maybe they would be willing to do that, but that's not $500 billion. Then we talk about Oracle. Oracle has $11 billion in cash, $88 billion in debt, and generates $10 billion in free cash flow. They don't have the money to be able to do this. OpenAI is burning cash. MGX did not commit to a number and is a $100 billion fund. Maybe 10% of their fund goes into this, which is the best case. I mean, even if they gave all $100 billion, you've still got $400 billion missing for this $500 billion announcement. And again, I don't know if this is going to be true or not. I'm just going off the headline. The headline is $500 billion over 4 years. And I think Elon does have a point of like, where the hell are we getting this $500 billion from? NVIDIA is going to participate, but they're going to limit how much they invest in any one model company, maybe $5 billion. Barring the aforementioned SoftBank ARM sale, it might be able to put together $50 billion in equity funding over several years, can obviously finance the GPUs, nowhere close to $500 billion. And essentially, this tweet concludes with the idea that if you're a professional investor or analyst and you took the $500 billion at face value, you should resign in disgrace. So this tweet was like straight up, hey, this $500 billion number is absolute garbage. It's not real. And Elon is correct to be pointing out it's not real. But then the question becomes, why was that the headline? And, you know, well, one of the reasons that was the headline is probably because Trump wanted a nice big number. A $500 billion is a great number. But is that a real headline? Elon is pocket watching. That tweet was pocket watching, and Elon is definitely pocket watching. But it does make sense, because even when I heard that last night, I was like, wait a second. $500 billion is $500 billion. Where is that coming from? Like, where's $500 billion coming from, right? And so it's one of those things where Trump doesn't care where the hell it's coming from. He just wants the credit for it. Sam Altman just wants as much money as possible, even if it's $500 billion, $50 billion. He just needs more money for GPUs to train the models. But Elon's the one guy saying, wait a second, guys, this makes no sense. It's just the nuances. He's stuck in the middle of Trump and Sam. He likes Trump, hates Sam, but the way he's framing this might make both of them not like him as much.
Also hearing that Altman's ties to Larry Ellison, a longtime Trump supporter and founder of Oracle, have helped his standing with the Trump team. He also has the support and financial backing, importantly, of Masayoshi Son, the SoftBank founder. Those two are increasingly close. That relationship has gotten stronger, and Masa Son has already committed, you'll remember, $100 billion to invest in the U.S. ahead of this Stargate announcement that came yesterday. Those ties to Ellison and Son are really important, guys. It's given him what appears to be a halo effect, which so far has been outweighing the beef that Sam Altman has with another key Trump ally, Elon Musk. There had been some questions in this administration on how Altman was going to fare. Musk, of course, the co-founder of Tesla, a variety of companies, and also a co-founder of OpenAI, still suing OpenAI over its nonprofit status. Altman responding to Musk's post on social media, kind of ragging on this deal. He responded saying, wrong, as you surely know. This is great for the country. He says, I realize what's great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies, but I hope you'll mostly put America, or the USA emoji, first. So Altman publicly fighting back as well. Scott, back to you.
So that's a drama going on right now. Look, is this drama going to be that serious over like the next week or even over the next couple of days? I don't think so. I mean, it is what it is. Well, you know, Elon is Elon, Sam is Sam, and ultimately Trump is going to still try to get as much money invested as possible. But it is one of those first initial like weird moments between all three. And given Elon is still suing Sam, you know, this might be part of the overall argument Elon's making around the idea that Sam Altman and OpenAI just tend to lie and not accurately represent what their true intentions are. Even if Trump is a fan of Sam Altman and had dinner with the team in Vegas and got to know a lot more about their technology.